So this is our presentation, and it's called A Leadership Perspective for Franklin County, Idaho. It's by myself, Courtney, and Candace. And so thank you all for watching. And so Franklin County has a population of 14,000 people, almost 15. And it's the only mental health agency in the rural county. And so because it's the only agency, it has to offer a holistic sense of services. So like it offers therapy, family and children's assistance, case management, and a lot of community services. I would even say that most of the agency is in community services. And we interviewed Colton Burbank, and he's the CBRS and Psychiatric Rehabilitation Program Director.
Some of the challenges that Colton was talking about was just one being the only option for people, like Tess mentioned, they're the only one in the county. Two, the rural areas having a closed off feeling. The community is very tight knit, and so just being open to what they're offering, which leads to three, the mental health stigma. So just everything that goes around with mental health and being in that tight-knit community and how that just kind of builds a little bit of distrust between the two. And so one of the examples Colton talked about was how some of the community members believe that like maybe if they just pray more or if they go to church more, then they'll feel better. And that it's not that they have, something that they need to work through or mental health instability or real men don't have mental health issues, and just trying to break down those barriers in order to really reach the community and just like give them the things that they need, but also not, make them feel like they're less than who they believe they are. Um, and then some of the opportunities that he was talking about is being part of the community in so many ways, that they're able to just have multiple things that they can meet. It's not just one thing. There's many areas that they're able to work with. And then letting people bring new ideas into the organization. Colton talks about a lot how he wants his staff to bring in new ideas and have, their own way of thinking and different things like that. And so being able to just help since they're the only ones in that area, having that openness to new ideas really opens up the multiple ways that they can communicate with their community. And he talks about how one of his employees wanted to convert a closet into a hygiene station and just how he just would never have thought of that. And it's just kind of an odd request, but it worked
All right.
out.
So we asked Colton, what leadership skills he felt really hopeful and important to do his job successfully. So one of them was be genuinely empathetic to providers. So these are obviously the people we work with, just trying to be really in tune with them and give them grace and, allow them to be who they are so they can do the best job that they can. Number two, acknowledge a shift in colleagues when they seem to be quiet or stressed. Check in with them and let them know you care about them and the work they provide. So just that a lot of being in tune with who you work with, really letting them know that you see a shift in them and like, what can you do to support them, right? What can we do to make sure that they're putting their best foot forward so they can come into work and do work to help other people in the community to better themselves as well. That also flows into promoting self-care amongst the providers to prevent burnout. As we know, social work, a lot of people get burned out easily, quickly. So we definitely want to kind of keep tabs on that. He also mentioned he does his best to provide, he wants his providers to be adequately trained to nourish their excitement so they can bring that to the team and do it really well. All right, so some strategies that Colton told us about, which I thought were, super helpful, is to hire diverse employees because this can help with the various subgroups within the community. So as we talked about before, the stigma of men don't have, mental health issues or any of these problems. So if you hire individuals who connect with those types of people, they can be, they can see from a different lens and they can understand it from someone who they may identify with. So he mentioned like they hired hunters, fishers, more of those like manly kind of things to connect with those individuals who maybe struggled connecting their health to mental health needs. The second one was promoting community involvement by having employees visit churches to give presentations about mental health. He mentioned that they also set up booths at fairs, and they participate in the summer parade, which is the biggest deal in their rural community. So I think just going to those events to connect with individuals really makes a big difference, and it really helps propel not only the agency, but help those in that community.
So some of the advice that the leader provided was, he said to let people keep their ideas and their thoughts and don't lose that, because they'll lose their motivations.
Was factoring in the community that you're servicing when you're hiring providers for that community. So for example, you may have someone who like checks off all the boxes on paper, like they have the highest degree, they understudied here, they've done this. But if those individuals can't connect with the people in your community, it's kind of taking a step backwards. So you may have someone who's less qualified on paper, but they can also connect with the community a little bit better.
And then the other thought that I really resonated with me was that he seemed to have a very laid back leadership style. And that resonated because I feel like that's my type of leadership style also. But he said that he was very aware of the downsides to that, and that leadership style, he didn't just think that was the only way to do it. And so because of that, he brought people in who had different leadership styles and different ways to communicate with the staff and the clients.
Was that he seemed to understand about the importance of letting people use their creative outlet for the benefit of the client and the agency. Like with the hygiene kit, we've mentioned that a couple of times, but just letting people have their ideas and encouraging it to like have a better workforce.
Yeah, and then he also mentioned being mindful of billing what our clients need, what their needs are versus what the agency needs. I thought that was really cool too. It made me think of my last practicum side of how we just like push certain things so that the agency can get the collateral or the highlight, the highlight for that. So I thought that was really cool that he mentioned that. Another thing that resonated with me was just his overall passion for making sure that the people around him are doing well. It wasn't just like, hey, we're social workers, like we have to do this. He genuinely seemed like he cared. All right. Thanks for watching our slide.
Thank you, everybody. And you have a great rest of your day.